welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. You can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Uh, And in my rush to get here and get everything together, I didn't grab anything to drink. Well, there we go. So it's fine. It's fine. I'm not that thirsty. It's cool. Unless I just leave David in a minute and go get me some water. I don't know. Who knows what'll happen? But I do have my cut mug though. Yay! The cats are being cats. Well, they, we love that for the cats to be cats. We might do my panel for the cut mugs. Yes. And we're not taking that out. It's gonna all be in the edit. You can get your cup mug or any of our beautiful cup merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically here in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. So there are no excuses. So and yeah, get your cup merch, period.
Well, I'm David Healy, and my cat found this little remote for a toy and decided to make this the toy itself.
Okay.
It wasn't even my cat; it was my roommate's cat. But I'm here to squish some berries and make some berry juice, and I'm just drinking some water, not berry juice, unfortunately.
Well, I'm just here to graduate and become a postgraduate. That's but we are definitely here talking about Australian Survivor episode 19. And I'm I'm annoyed. I love this series. They're really very entertaining. This has been a very good season thus far. But this episode just I'm very annoyed and but not because of any well, yeah, I'm just annoyed because I really wanted something to happen that didn't happen, and I'm very annoyed by that. Because I've got my hopes up, and I hate getting my hopes
Mm,
up and then only to be let down in the end. So, oh,
See, I'm lucky, and this might not sound lucky, but I got spoiled at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. about who left. And so by the time I'm watching the episode, I was like, "Oh, okay. I see where this is going." And I'm actually happy because I would have been so annoyed, so annoyed otherwise.
like
Um,
me,
yeah,
like me.
I think this is one of the worst episodes of the season, to be honest. It's
I
still a good
was.
season,
It
but
was a good season, but this was so aggravating.
not a great episode.
This just aggravated my whole soul. Like,
Mhm.
oh, okay. But we'll talk all about that. But before we do, y'all know what to do. If you have been following us along with us throughout this journey of Survivor Australia, which I see you have, and I appreciate you. Y'all know we are on a mission to have 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So here at the Cup TV and across the Cup Network. So if you would just do us a solid and just subscribe to the channel. Watch the content, don't watch the content, but subscribe. Just give us the sub so we can get the whole, so we can unlock a lot of fun things that we would love to do on this channel. So give us a subscribe to this channel. If you're a fan of competitive reality television or any of things on the other channels, please subscribe to those. All those links will be in the description below in the link tree. But ours is right there. It's right there. Look down. Hit the subscribe button. It takes a half a second to do it, and it's free. So go ahead. I'll wait. I'll wait. I have time. I mean, I see. Thank you. You over there. You over there. You're thinking about it. Just do it. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But and go subscribe to all of our other channels if you're a fan of drag, if you're a fan of Eurovision Song Contest, and if you're a fan of WWE, go subscribe to all of our channels. We would appreciate that. Um, our audio podcast links are in the description below, so you can check us out on the go. If you're heading to work, or school, or a date, or whatever, if you're working out, going on a jog, take us with you. We'll keep you entertained. Follow us on our audio podcast link. Join our Patreon where we do behind the scenes and exclusive content and early access things. Check out that, and our all that is in the description below. Now, David, we are back here on episode 19 of Australian Survivor. We just lost Karen in that huge blow up and
Mm,
craziness of a tribal, which was insane.
wild.
It was insane. Um, I did not talk about it, but
Me
can I talk
neither.
about? We weren't here to talk about it.
Yep, it was Jack and Logan.
Yeah, we weren't here to talk about it because I needed a break and David was doing busy things.
Mhm.
And so, what did you think? I would love to know your thoughts.
Yeah. I think it's a true testament to a season when one of my absolute favorite people can get voted out, and I'm still living for everything that goes down. Like, I was highly
Same.
entertained. That was
Yes.
that was a pretty epic, exit for Karen, and I'm glad that she fought her way the entire time, and the icing on the cake was her still voting for Zara. I
That
can't wait to see
threw
her back.
Oh, that threw me. I was like, "Oh my god." She went through all of that, stuck her neck out, ride or die, everything, and still in the end was like, "I just wanna see what happens." It's like, you are one wild chick, but I loved it. Like you said, very entertaining. I was thoroughly entertained throughout that whole situation. I was on the edge of my seat, like,
Mhm.
because I knew I wasn't going to be here to talk about it, so I didn't have to think about what I'm going to say. I was just watching it, and I was just like, "Oh my god, this is so good!" Like it was such an epic tribal. I
Yep.
I could not believe that happened, but it was so good. Which leaves this one. I was like, "Oh, the last episodes was so great, and this one was so not." I was
Right.
so mad. But let's start from the beginning. Everybody's coming back from tribal. Zara's trying to figure out who, what, where, what happened. How did this go down? Why was the votes on her and Karen? She was like, maybe they just felt, and everybody was like, we just kind of felt like you two was connected to so many different people, and
Mhm.
everybody, y'all had a lot of different connections, and y'all were a dangerous block,
You all voted for Miles?
and y'all voted for Miles, and Kaylin
Mhm.
was a little upset. Kaylin was a little upset about that. Um,
I was very impressed with the way he sold it to Zara. Like, he made it in a very logical way, like,
yep,
"This was what you did, so I had to do a counter move for that, and I didn't go for you. I wasn't going for
right.
you."
I wasn't going for you.
Which brings me to, I've been listening to the podcast that I have not been on, and I've heard
Hmm.
a few times where, our dear fellow panelist, Jack, has said, "Oh, Kaylin's probably not winning because Kaylin is not getting a good edit." I definitely disagree. I think
Highly disagree.
yes. I think what Jack is saying is Kaylin is not getting a lot of confessionals, which is true. Like, compared to, like, AJ and Logan and Miles, yes, Kaylin's not getting as many confessionals. But the story they're giving him, he doesn't need them. His whole story is about, I'm just sitting in the background. I'm letting people look past me. I'm a social player, but I know how to do things from behind the scenes. So I think the
Hmm.
number of confessionals he's getting doesn't matter because it's more about quality than quantity.
Hmm.
His
Absolutely.
confessionals are quality. They are
Yes.
definitely giving us a great perspective on how he's working the game, and it always seems to work out in whatever way
His
he wants.
favor.
So, do I think Kalen's winning?
Has
Probably.
a good shot. He has a good shot. He has a really good
Probably.
shot. I think Kaylin has a really, really good shot. And here's why I also feel that way. Because Kaylin's story in the end would blow people's mind because they don't see it happening.
Mm,
They don't see it coming. And which brings me to my point about something that happened in this episode. In the last episode, after the car vote went down, Logan looks over to the jury and was like, "That's me. I did that. Like that was me." And I was like, I said it last week when I watched. I was like, "Girl, that wasn't you. You just did
He did
that."
throw his name out for her
She,
name out first.
no, no, she did
She
not.
didn't
No,
at that reward.
at the reward, she
Yeah,
had put the name out first. Kaylin has been putting the seeds
true,
in for Kaz's vote since 3 weeks ago.
true.
He started the whole thing. That's why I was like, and even then, AJ in this episode was like, Logan is taking credit for this move. That's my move. I'm like, no, it's not.
Mhm.
It's Kaylin's move. This is all Kaylin has been letting AJ feel like he's running the ship. And Logan jumped in at the last minute, although the seed has already been sown and it was already been watered and planted and it started taking root because Kaylin put it out there. AJ was the mouthpiece.
Right.
Kaylin put it out there and stowed the seed. AJ was the mouthpiece, and then Logan comes in at the end. And is like, I think it should be
Yeah.
Cash, and everybody's like, yeah, that's what he wanted. But okay, yeah,
Mhm.
girl, you take it. And you know that if Zara hears that it was Logan who did that, Zara's gonna say, yeah, let's go for Logan. I'm okay with going for Logan. Yeah, you make sure that every move you make is not directly back to you. And that's the brilliance of Kalen. And I was saying, he will go into, if he makes it to the end, he will tell people, like, I planted to see then, and they wouldn't be able to deny it. They'd be like, oh, yeah, he did. We did have that conversation. Like, it'll start clicking, like, oh, he's been playing much longer than what we thought he was, because everybody think they
Mhm.
got him. Everybody
Yep.
is like, oh yeah, Kalen, we'll definitely get Kalen. Like somebody said in this episode, oh yeah, you can definitely persuade Kalen.
Yep. Who's the only person in this top 8 who's never been a target? Never been
Kalen,
even close to consideration to be voted out.
even when he wasn't winning idols,
Mhm.
immunity necklaces, when he wasn't in the had the immunity, he was never even brought up.
Right.
Every single person has had their name thrown out except for Kalen. It's I don't care what nobody say. He has been playing a
Mhm.
heck of a game.
Yep.
Win or lose, he has played one heck of a game on this season.
His game kind of reminds me of Tommy from, um,
Mm,
Island of the Idols, because, like, usually you think, like, a male that's gonna win, they usually play such an out front, like, dominant game, like,
hmm
strategically, and you had people like Tommy who's kind of doing things in the background and letting other people be, like, the focal point ahead of them, and I think that's what Caitlin's doing.
hmm My only reservation about that is that he plays it so low
Right.
that he can't even, like, people won't recognize the move that he made, even
Yeah.
if he tells them.
I've heard Karin said something in the,
Oh,
jury villa about, like, "Oh, I don't even think Caitlin can read." So, that's not a great sign.
that's not a great sign. That is my only concern with Caitlyn. I'm like, you playing it dumb, but you playing it too dumb. Like you sometimes, but I think he can change that around if he pop off and show. Like sometimes you gotta pop off and show
Mhm.
people, what you can do. And I think if we do that in the further, like in this in game, like start making some moves that are exclusively Kalen moves, then he like, I played the first half of this game socially, and I played the back half of this game strategically, and I think that would impress people. So I think he has to start showing his moves a little bit. He got to start
Yeah.
showing his moves. He has to, or it will become. We don't know what you did, Kaylin. You hit behind AJ. You hit
Yeah.
behind Miles. You hit behind this. Well, you know what I'm saying? So I think he needs to start showing his moves. But
Agreed.
so we do see AJ bring up the fact that Logan said that it was her move, and he was kind of like, yeah, no, I don't like that because that was my move. So we're gonna have to figure out how we can work around this. But we see AJ and Miles go off talking at 3 o'clock in the morning. Apparently, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. They told us this. I'm like, well, we're getting timestamps now. We ain't never got timestamps, but okay. Well, they go off at 3 o'clock in the morning, and they're like, look, AJ tells Miles, I've been distancing myself from you. We need to continue letting that play out like we are not as close as we think, because if people realize how close we actually are, they'll come for us. So we need to continue to act like we're not close. Keep distancing yourself from, I'll distance myself from you, Miles. And Miles is acting like he's mad at AJ.
Mhm.
And, a little back and, but they do decide, but we might need to talk about getting the graduates back together. We might need to bring the band back together
Mhm.
again. And
It's
I was
so
like,
on again, off again.
on again, off again. I was like, this relationship with this alliance is wild.
Mhm.
But they want to bring the band back together. So they said, we'll talk about it. We'll get it together and talk in the morning. So in the morning, they come and AJ goes grab Kaylin and they talk about it. And Kaylin's like, I definitely think it's time to bring the band back together because Zara and Miles is now talking. And Miles is giving her a little pep talk because she lost her number one. And it sucks being at the bottom. But Miles was like, but this is where I live. I live at the bottom. I relish and I revel at the bottom. So let me help you out, Zara. When you're at the bottom, and this was some sound advice from Miles, and I was like, oh, Miles sounds very profound. He said, when you're at the bottom, that's when you're the most focused. That's when you're looking at everything and you notice the most because now you feel like your back is against the wall. So you have to see where and who I can get aligned with, who I can work with, who would be willing to work with me. So you look at everybody and you see all the everything and everything that happens. And it helps you make a better decision on where you want to place yourself. And I was like, whoa,
Mhm.
Hey, Miles, yeah. And so I was like, that actually helped me. That
Yeah.
actually makes sense. That now that I'm at this bottom, I have to just keep looking. And she saw what she needed to see because she was like, I think we need to get the band back together again because the strong four in a tribe of eight would work for me and it will work. And she's like, and I think I can get these guys back together with me. So let's see how that works out. So she went and approached each guy individually, and they all came to the conclusion that it's time to get the graduates back together again. And I was like, I'm not mad at this at all.
Yep.
Mm.
I do think Miles did a great job of really wooing her, getting her back on his side. But I will say his talk about playing from the bottom and how it really helps you see everything. I don't think that's a one size fits all. Like there are certain people who can play extremely well from the bottom, and there are some people that cannot at all. Miles just happens to be somebody who actually thrives when he's out of the loop a bit. But yeah, we've seen other people who just really blow up their own games when they're not in control. So,
I
but
mean, some people,
I like the spirit behind it at least.
I mean, I think AJ would crash and burn at the bottom because he
Hmm.
doesn't know how to be not in control. Even though he had his moments, but he still was struggling a little bit. But he climbed his way back where he needed to be.
Hmm.
But when those people who have the most hardest times at the bottom is those who've never been
Right.
in the bottom. And so they don't know what to do when they're not.
True. Although the first person I think, like, if I think about who played the worst from the bottom in this season, it is somebody who was always on the bottom, and it was Ursula. I think Ursula never knew how to handle
No, she
playing
is
from the
so
bottom at all.
no, socially she just never got like you are right. Socially, she never tried to open up. She stuck to her one and done. She found her ride or die, and she was dead. That was it.
Yep.
I was like, girl, you have to be flexible. At the bottom is when you have to be the most flexible and be like anybody but me,
Hmm.
and I will go with you and vote with you and listen. Yeah, she just didn't know how to do
It
that.
it took a lot to fumble things at the tribe switch when she could have easily gotten numbers from the old brains,
Mm,
but she still managed to fumble it. So I'm
she
like, yeah,
fumbled.
not
Yeah,
everybody can do what you can do, Miles.
true. Touche. Touche.
Mhm.
Touche.
But there was
But
another conversation. So we
mhm,
see Kristen first thing in the morning, and she's very upset. She's upset with Cara, and she's like, I'm so annoyed because I tried to help her out, and she blew up her own game and then threw me under the bus. And first of
mhm.
all, I was like, Kristen, she did not throw you under the bus. She was
You
not saying your name. You're the one who threw out your own
you threw
name.
yours off, girl. I was like, girl, you threw your own self under the bus.
Yeah. But she wanted to make sure like she could smooth things over with Caitlin and AJ. So she
Hmm.
goes and explains things to them, like, oh yeah, a bunch of us wanted Zara out. So yeah, that's why AJ's like, it's okay. You
It's
don't have
fine.
to explain. I get it. It's
Mm-mm.
cool. And that's one thing AJ's really good at. AJ, while I'm on it, like AJ's been winning me over. And
Hmm.
I hate to say it because for a while I was like, he needs to go. He needs to go.
Right.
I think he does have a lot of really great qualities in a survivor player.
Hmm.
I think his biggest weakness is underestimating other people and
Hmm.
calling them idiots for doing things that are in their best favor. But I think he is a good player, and this was an example of just smoothing things over, acting like it's not even an issue at all. You don't have to worry, Kristen or Kirsty, as George said on George posted on Twitter. He's like, this purple edit we're getting from Kirsty, Kate, and Morgan.
Sure. It's so. Oh my
Like that's so
gosh.
shady, George, because you did that on purpose, sir.
Of course he did. Of course he did. But see, here's the thing. I'm with AJ and I'm with Kaylin. I'm like, oh, no problem. No
Mhm.
worries. It's fine. Because guess what? You've already showed me who you were, so I no longer care about you. I can care less about your vote. I can care less about who you're doing. I can care less about you as a number. You are no longer a part of
Yep.
my end game anymore. She was a part of the end game. Kaylin was willing to take her to the end game with her. She is no longer part of their end game anymore. So he's like, it's
There's a
okay.
reason the eggs weren't in the berry basket this episode.
No, they kind of just
Worst alliance name ever, though.
worse than not the berries. They're like, Kayla says we crushed the berries and the berries are done, like berry juice.
Mhm.
But that and that when that for me would have been my biggest tip off of I need to figure out a different venue because you tell me, oh no, it's fine, everything's good. I don't trust that either. Because now
Yeah.
it's like, everything's good because you are upset with me and that's a woman's fine. Oh no, I'm fine. Oh no, no, everything's fine. Everything is not fine. Like everything is not fine. If you have no, you piss somebody off and you go right back to them and they say, oh no, it's fine. Everything's fine. It's not
True.
fine. It's never fine. But so yeah, and she's like, oh yeah, the berries are gonna be great. We're gonna work together. We're gonna hopefully we can salvage what we, everything and still stay strong to this alliance. Mhm. Caitlin quickly said no.
Nope.
He quickly was like, yeah, no,
Yep.
I
And
can't
see,
trust
that's
her.
just another like check for like edit wise for Caitlin. Like he's the one telling us this alliance is dead. And what do we see? The
The
alliance is
alliance
dead.
is dead.
Spoiler.
It's dead. It's dead, dead.
Mhm.
Uh so I'm trying to see no, do we go right to reward check?
Yeah, reward challenge.
We go right to the reward challenge, and it's a balancing challenge. They got these pontoons of sort on the boat, out in the water, and you have to stand there and stay on these little planks that's going to get smaller in size as you go up. And the person who can stand there the longest wins reward. Good on you. You
Hmm.
have balance, you win. You don't, you don't. Um, and the reward is a night away in the IKEA salon or spa. It's like a day spa. You get to stay overnight. You get showers. You get to wash your hair. Get brush your teeth. Get champagne. Apparently, there's some kind of bread. Some shepherd's pie was included, and then they get to sleep in a nice, comfortable bed. And yeah, be fresh for once. Just feel fresh again.
Yep.
I was like, good for you.
It's a good reward. Although I think I would not be crazy about the food. I was like, oh, this shepherd's pie looks disgusting.
I don't really know. I mean, I know it's potatoes and it's meat,
Hmm.
and there's some vegetables in there. I mean, I would have ate it just because I wanted
Yep.
nourishment. And after being out there all that long, I'd be like, yeah, I'll eat it. I don't know how much I enjoy it, but I eat it anyway. I would have told up the bread though. I'm a bread fan, so I would have
Fair.
just eaten the bread up. I'm like, give me this bread.
Why not IKEA meatballs?
True. I heard those meatballs are
I've heard they're good too.
awesome.
I've never had
I've
them.
never had them either. I don't go to IKEA,
No,
guys. I'm not.
let's
I've
go.
never.
Let's go to. No, the reason I don't want to go to IKEA. Do you know about the layout of this store?
No, I've never been.
So from what I've been told, is they have like a path you go down, and you like there's no like turning around. You have to go down this entire path, like basically go through the entire store to get out. And it's like, what if I want to go to a specific aisle? What if I want to go look for a specific thing? Don't make me walk through the entire store just to get some meatballs before I can pay.
Oh, that's ridiculous. I've never heard that. I've
That's what
never
I've heard.
been.
If it's not true, let us know in the comments.
We are IKEA like
Virgins.
versions. Never been there. Let us know in the comments if IKEA is worth us going to because David, we can
Mhm.
make a trip
We can.
and we can, do a vlog about our trip to IKEA and share it with you guys. I just never been. Well,
Right.
let us know in the comments if it's worth going to IKEA and see. I mean, I don't want to buy anything from. I do know IKEA don't send you nothing put together, so you got to put everything together, and
Mm,
anybody got time for that? Yeah, I
yeah. They
no,
think you must have a lot of time on your hands. You have to walk through the entire store, then you have to put everything together.
I just
We
can't.
don't have time. Do we have
Don't
to
have
cook our own
time.
meatballs too?
Right. Do I have to learn the directions and fix it
Do
myself? And
we have
I
to
got
butcher
time.
the cow?
I don't have time for that IKEA. I got things to do anyway.
Right.
But great reward though. I would have loved that. I would have just loved to go and lay in the bed after sleeping on bamboo for however many
Mhm.
days they've been out there.
The
So,
shower would be nice too.
oh, the shower will be great. I would be like, turn the cameras off because I'm about to get completely naked so I can make sure I get every nook and cranny. I'm not finna be in my bathing suit, so turn the cameras off. But because after not showering for that long,
Right.
oh, ew, it's still gross.
Yep.
But so they get on these things and they stand there, and like 30 seconds in, AJ is in the water.
Yep. Well, break me off and show me what you got. I don't want no 1 minute man, AJ. Sorry.
Sorry, AJ. Yeah, 1 minute. We made a
Mm-mm.
look. Missy made a whole song about you. We don't
Yep.
want it. We don't want it. AJ was out. And so I mean, everybody else pretty much held on for for the first part.
Yeah.
It was when they did the second transition
Mhm.
that we lost a couple of more people, which was Miles and Kaylin. They both fell
And
off.
Morgan, I was surprised Morgan
And then
fell.
Morgan, yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, Morgan, girl. But she fell off. And then we get to the third transition. Nobody
Mhm.
falls off. Everybody's still there.
Yep.
4 girls are still hanging on. And so the last transition was at the very top of the thing, and they had 1 minute. They could use their hands to get up, but once the 1 minute was up, they could no longer use their hands, and they had to, stay up there. And whoever stayed up there won.
It
And
didn't last
then
long.
it didn't last long because Zara fell first,
Mhm.
and then Kate fell shortly behind her.
Yep.
And it was between Kristen and Logan, and they were both teeter and tottering. But eventually, Logan falls. Kristen wins. It says winners, but don't worry about it. It's Kristen,
Yes.
just
Good
one.
job, Kirsty.
Kristen had a lot of edit this episode, so
She did.
it wasn't purple. This episode wasn't. Unfortunately, it was one of the worst episodes of the season. Sorry,
Yep.
but anyway, she wins. She wins her IKEA prize package or whatever. She gets to pick someone to go with her. She picks Morgan first, and Morgan is shocked, like, "Oh my god, I didn't think."
I
And
think
I'm like,
that's a sign when Morgan is shocked. That probably is saying like, "Oh, you didn't make the right decision." Because I don't think you needed to take Morgan.
I mean, I think, well, it made sense why she did it after. the fact. But then JLP was like, pick somebody else, and she picks Logan. So Logan gets to go. So it's Logan, Morgan, and Kristen heading off to go and spend the night at this IKEA spa. Good on them. So Kaylin, Miles, AJ, Kate, and Zara are headed back to camp for beans and rice. And Zara is like, usually you would really want to go on these excursions, and that'd be the greatest thing. This time, not such a bad idea that I didn't get picked. It feels correct that I'm here, and now I can do what I need to do with these boys to get them back on my side. So I'm kind of glad she didn't pick me. And she went to work. She went to work. She smoothed things out with her and AJ because she wanted to make AJ feel like, let AJ know that she's not upset that he did what he did. She understands why they voted Kaz, and she's like, "Is I felt like you were protecting me, so I appreciate that." And he was like, "Yeah, yeah, it was definitely that." And she was like, "I just need to know where your allegiance lie. Would you be willing to vote out Kate soon?" And he's like, "Yeah, absolutely." And at first I was like, "Do I believe that?" But the more they talked, I was like, "I kind of do believe
Yeah.
that." So I kind of think he would do that. At first, I didn't believe it. His first that initial, yeah, I would totally. I was like, I don't know, AJ, I don't trust that. But then the more they talked, the more the graduates and the more we saw AJ talking about the graduates, I was like, okay, well, maybe he actually would.
I think they're getting down to numbers, and he has so many connections that he's got to start cutting some of them anyways.
Yes.
And I don't know how much more benefit Kate is going to be for him. So I wouldn't even be surprised if he's like, yeah, Kate's got to go before Morgan.
Hmm. I think so. I think so. It would probably
We didn't think that a few weeks ago.
No, we did not. We did not. Because we were like, they would get rid of Morgan before they get rid of
Hmm.
Kate. But now, nah. Your best bet is to get rid of Kate. And I think Morgan not being so great at challenges, if whether on purpose or not, is a benefit that is a good strategy for her. And so Kate showing that she can win and she has won. And my favorite part of this whole reward challenge thing and Kate not being picked, she looked so mad that she didn't get picked. And I was like, Kate, girl, you've been on every reward there was. Calm down. Like, let somebody else do it. Like, she's been on every. She was so mad. She was like her face. She was not happy. She
She's
was not
Morgan
happy.
going somewhere without me. Don't you know we're a package duo?
Right. Like, so bad. I was like, girl, you didn't have it. Even though you didn't get no meatballs, I know.
Right.
But you still been on every reward there was that you could possibly go on. So
Mhm.
it's okay. Relax. Um,
But we do get this next scene with Miles. We see Miles talking, and he's like, "Yeah, I figured I might as well just look for another idol." So I'm
Pop
like,
around.
is he gonna find another one?" And sure
And
enough, it
he
does
did.
not take
He
very
did.
long.
No.
He finds so this is the third one he's found, but the fourth one
Fourth
that's
one
been in
he'll
his
play.
possession,
Yep.
which he said, "I'm pretty sure this is an Australian Survivor record." I'm wondering if it might be a international record.
International record, right.
I can't think of another person that's had 4 idols in their possession throughout the season. Like, I know Russell had 3 in Samoa, but man, I can't think of anybody else who's had 4.
I don't think anybody's had four idols in their possession. And I'm saying any franchise, but I could be
Mhm.
totally wrong. But I don't think in US franchise, I don't think that has happened. I don't think
Googling
it's happened. All
it.
right, because I just don't think. I think that's a record. I think Miles has just hit a record, like four. I love that Miles keeps finding these idols. I love, love, love. He still finds his idol. I hate, hate. He feels the need to always tell somebody. I'm like Miles. Keep it to yourself. even from AJ, your ride or die, your eighth bull. Because guess what? It's coming down to the end. And if AJ with his finicky gameplay gets a little finicky, and he even said it. It's funny. You find all these idols, and I'm the one that always gives you the head up when not to when to use them.
I got an answer thanks to Google.
Okay.
Google's AI overview. Yes, Tony Velachos is the only player in Survivor history to have found and possessed 4 idols. Tony found 4 hidden immunity idols throughout his time on Survivor Heroes versus Villains, season 19,
Uh-huh.
Survivor Karamoan, season 24,
He found 4 in both of them.
and Survivor Game Changers, season 32. Guess what?
That doesn't count. You don't find
No,
4 in
none
one
of those are even
season.
accurate. Season 19 was not Heroes versus Villains. That was 20, and Tony was not on that season. Season 24 was not Karamoan. That was 26. Tony had never played Survivor by then. And Survivor Game Changers, yes, Tony was on that. That was season 34, not 32. And Tony was voted out second. He didn't find an idol.
Oh, so Tony
So
did
thanks
not
for
find.
nothing, AI.
And look, and we're supposed to be worried about AI. They don't even know their
Right.
facts. Whatever, AI. But no, I think Miles has hit a record. I just definitely brought Miles to the record with that one. But I just wish he wouldn't say anything about it. Like finding it is great. If he would have just kept this one to himself
Yeah.
and not said anything to AJ, I would have been so much more happier with him.
Yeah, I think we're deep enough in the game. Like, there's definitely times where it pays to tell your ally if you have an idol. I think he's at the point where, you know what, maybe keep some cards to myself, especially if AJ's worried about people looking good in front of a jury. Then you don't want to give him another reason to take you out before the end, because I'm sure AJ has that in the back of his mind.
Oh, it's definitely in the back of his mind. He was literally jealous that he found it, and he's like, "I was having fun. I want to find an item." I'm like, "Go look. You want to find an item? Go look." But instead of you too busy running behind people, talking to people, and trying to make sure your plans get in order instead of going to look. Miles has nothing but time because people have been like, "I don't talk to you, Miles." Like he just be out running, and nobody comes to look for him. So I'm like, "Yeah,
But
that's
his idol
crazy."
is AJ's idol, apparently.
Because he keeps telling AJ. I'm like, stop telling him. But yeah, I'm very happy Miles found another idol. I think it's great to see the jungle rat keep doing what the jungle rat does and slithering in and out, just running in and out of little holes and finding things that keeps him safe in the game. I just don't know if I don't know if AJ will, if Miles is in danger, tell him this time.
I think it really depends on how deep it is. Like, if Miles is in danger next episode, maybe.
Mhm.
But if it's at Final Five,
Yeah, no.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. But then Miles will have to play it because ain't that the last time you can play it either.
True. True.
So I just played it anyway.
Yeah.
Uh, but so we see that we see that happen. That's great for Miles. Great for them. We see the graduates get back together. They become the postgraduates at this
Mhm.
point because they have decided that. I was like, where is Kate doing all this conversation that they having?
Zara said, "Oh, it's okay. She's way down there."
She's way down there. She's good. They put the hands in there, the postgraduates now, and everybody's happy with what is happening. They're like, we
Wait,
just
they put
don't
their
split
hands
our votes.
together. I
Somebody, a
think they might
millionaire.
be a secret millionaire.
Wrong show,
Oh,
David.
okay.
Wrong show. That's okay. Oh, um,
I made that joke
that,
for Drug House Rules too, didn't I?
yeah. You did, but it's okay. Um, they so they decide to do all that on the when we go to the girls' spa day. We see
Mhm.
them enjoying their shepherd's pie and champagne and showers and things
And mud in your hair for 2 weeks.
for 2 weeks. And she's like, "This is from 4 weeks ago." Oh my god! I'm like, "Girl, you want to put your head in the water at least?"
Right, like,
Uh,
haven't they had challenges in the water?
I would at least got the water and be like, "Yeah." Even if I ain't got no soap, I'm gonna get the clamped up mud that's stuck in
Right.
my hair. But whatever. I don't know how that worked for them. Um, But then they started talking about what the next move should be. And at first they brought up Kate. And I was like, oh, that's bold to bring up Kate.
I
Logan,
agree.
bring up Kate in front of Morgan like that. Like, she ain't gonna go tell her. And so Kristen was like, well, what about Zara? I mean, I think Zara, Kate is somebody who can win comps, and we've seen her do it. But Zara is someone who I don't think is going to work with us in the end. I think she will flip on us, and I don't think Kate would. So I think it might be better to get out Zara first
Mhm.
before we get out Kate. And so Lowe's is like, yeah, I think I can agree with that. I think Kate staying is the real number with us instead of Zara, who would flip back and forth because she does have those connections on the other side. So that'll be great. So they decide they're gonna put their votes on Zara, and then Morgan is going to get Kate to tell her to put her vote on Zara, and they'll be a solid four.
Yeah, I would be nervous about this if I was Logan because what do the other 3 people have in common?
Brawn, Brawn, Brawn.
Yep, the 3 remaining Brawn people, so be like, "Where do I stand with that group?"
Right. It that was crazy. I didn't think about it, but I would have. I don't know if she feels comfortable enough with AJ and Zara to actually want to work with them more
Mhm.
because, like, I feel like she would be on the bottom of either one.
True.
So she picked her side and was like, "That's where I'm going to go." And I'm like, "Okay, I can see that. That works." And they were like, "We're just gonna be a solid four. We'll put it all on Zara." There's that. On the other side, like, we got our solid four. We're gonna put all our votes on Logan, and that is that. Because we do see a flashback, which I'm like, not the
Yeah.
earlier with the rewinding of the waters going backwards into the. I was like, okay, all right, Survive Australia. I see y'all
Yeah,
earlier.
I don't know that that was needed, honestly. I was
Not
like, "Okay."
not necessary. But
Like, that was not a mind-blowing, like, "Oh my gosh, he had conversations with all these people? Wow."
about Logan, shocker.
Yeah.
He could have just literally said, "We talked earlier. We think
Mhm.
Logan's just got," and we would have been perfectly caught up with that. Thanks for the extra 2 minutes, editors, that was not needed. Well, we see. Whatever. You're trying to show your cinematic skills. Got you. Um, yeah, AJ talks to everybody and it's Logan. Everyone's like, okay, yep, Logan it is. Logan it is. Yep, yep, yep. So those
But he
four.
didn't tell real reason.
No, because the real reason is Logan took his credit for his move and he don't like it.
Mhm.
And I'm like, well, you taking credit for Caitlin's move, so what?
True. But I was like, so Logan took credit in front of the jury, but he wants to send her to the jury so people will know it was his move. I'm like, if she's taking credit in front of the jury, I think she's still going to take credit once she gets to the jury. Like, they're still going to think it
Absolutely.
was her move.
Absolutely. And even if you sit there and say at the end that it wasn't, she gonna be like, it was my move. I said it at the thing. And he be like, even he's like, well, we were talking about it way before. He would need Halen to back up his
No,
story. Like, we talked about this before we even got to the reward, and we were already planning on, that was the next move for us anyway. You just happened to say it. And it was like, "Oh, okay, work. You can get involved in this plan." But he don't want her to take credit for the move, so he needs to send her to the jury. I'm like, okay, girl, sure, sure, AJ, that's fun. Um, so AJ is Logan is the move. No split votes. All four votes. Logan. All four votes. Zara. No split votes. And they were like, and if it's a split, 4-4, we're willing to go to Rocks. We're willing to go to Rocks. And I'm like, okay, cool. Let's go to Rocks if y'all gotta go. At this point, I'm like, it ain't happening. It ain't going to Rocks, whatever. So then we get to the challenge, the immunity challenge. This challenge was it was funny to me. It was
yeah,
funny to me because they walk in and they see the bamboo wall, and not AJ, Caitlin's like, "Oh, I think we're gonna bust through the wall." I'm like, "Okay, yeah." I said, "Well, that's gonna be quick for Caitlin to just, barrel that
mhm,
wall." Well, then they were like, "No, you're gonna tether somebody to this rope. But first, break off in teams of two. By the way, break off in teams of two. Tether somebody to the rope, bind their hands and their feet. And your job is to get the person tethered to the rope through all these different obstacles, through the bamboo wall, over the hurdles, up the high net, and to the end. First team to get that done and unlock them from the tether. Once you unlock them from the tether, the first team to get that done, then that team will break up and go individually to throw sandbags at a target. And if you knock the target off the line that it's on, and the first person to knock it off wins immunity. So I'm like, oh, okay, not what I thought it was, but sure,
Yeah.
let's see how it works.
Now,
So the
I'm not crazy personally about, like, after the merge having,
team
team
challenges,
challenges because, like, I if somebody decides like, if AJ said, "Yeah, I don't want Logan to win immunity because I wanna get her out," then, she has no agency because he can just throw the challenge. So and I'm not saying that he did. I don't think anybody threw this challenge, but, like, it's you're taking away somebody's power completely. So I'd like individual immunities once we get to the merge phase. So my
they
thoughts.
clearly threw this challenge.
You think so?
I think a hundred
Oh,
percent he threw that because so they start off. Zara was the one on AJ. The team was Zara, AJ, Logan, and Morgan. With on the other side, Kate, Kaylin, Miles, and Kristen. And AJ was like, "I'll pick Zara up, I'll hold her, and carry her all the way through." We just got the battle ram through. Both teams did the battling rams with Kate and Zara through the bamboo things.
and
Blue team,
they dropped
they
Kate.
drop. Oh my god,
Caitlin just said,
Kaylin!
Caitlin said, "Oh, let me use my hands to break this." Drop.
I was
No
just like,
regard
wow.
for him holding a human life.
Like you're holding someone. He was like, oh. I was like, Kaylin, this is why you injure people. Like
Right.
you have to be a little.
Right. That's what he was trying to do.
He was trying to take her out. And I was like, Kaylin, I have
And I
been defending you.
Right. I saw somebody on Twitter, they're like, "Oh, I would wanna be the battering ram so I could be held by Kalen." And I'm like, "No, he would
No,
drop
because he
you.
drops you.
He doesn't care about you."
I would only want Caleb once I get past the battling ram.
Mhm.
Then I want to be tethered because the way he was carrying her and just over the holder,
Mhm.
over her, like I was
Yep.
like, I would have wrapped my arm around his neck. Okay, carry me. Okay, but no, 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 no. That's neither here nor. But yeah, he just dropped her like a sack of potatoes. Just whoop.
And Miles tries to go pick her up by himself.
Chris was like, "Oh, are you okay?" Even JLP was like, "Don't drop people." Like,
We need, like, a compilation of Kalen just hurting people in
oh,
challenges.
Caleb, I think his mind just goes when he's like focused on the challenge, ain't thinking about human life, broken bones, nothing. He's just like, whoop. He just tossed her like she was nothing. I was like, oh my god. But AJ and Logan and Morgan get Zara through the bamboo sticks first, and then they get to the ropes, and they had a good lead because it took the other team a bit of time to get through that bamboo
Mhm.
wall. And they're going through the hurdles and taking Zara over and going feed the ropes and doing
Yeah.
pretty good. This is where I think
Mhm.
AJ started throwing it on purpose because he was literally just standing there like, "Oh no, we're messing up something. We're missing something. Oh my,
It did cross my mind. It did cross my
oh,
mind.
it totally crossed my mind. I was like,
I
nah,
was
man,
waiting for a
AJ.
confessional to confirm it because we
Yep, me
usually get
too.
so
Me too. But
even
I
later
just
on, he's like, I'm not doing anything right
that's
now."
another one where I was like, you're throwing this, AJ. Just say that. He was just like, I'm not doing anything. He wasn't pushing
He was
Laura
like
over under the
he
neck.
was just raising the roof.
He's just like, woo, woo. Here's the look, here's Laura, here's AJ. Woo, woo, not touching the
"I'm
net.
doing it with my mind."
Look, she's gonna go. She's going. I was like, not that, AJ. He wasn't doing anything. And on the other side, they finally get through the bamboo wall, and then it was over from there. They just was helping Kate over. Caitlin was grabbing her, hand her the Miles, picks her up, hand her the Miles, picks her up, hand her the Miles, and they feed. And you had Kristen getting the rope, feeding the rope, doing the things. They was handling it. They got
Mhm.
to the end and unlocked tape. And so these four were now going on to the next. By the time Zara was halfway through the the net while AJ was raising the roof, I was just like, AJ, you throwing this, and I get it, but stop making it so obvious,
Right.
my guy. But then they go to the last part of the challenge, and we see it comes down to really just Kaylin and Miles. Miles doing it for a minute. I was like, oh, is Miles about to win this? Because
Mhm.
he hit it, and that thing said, "Gee," like it went back a few little minutes, a few steps on the track. I was like, oh, he just got to hit it one more time. But then Kaylin, being Kaylin, just Kaylin did.
Mhm. I had a
And,
feeling I had a feeling he was gonna win because they like, I forget, there was something earlier in the episode where it talked about, like, "Oh, yeah, Caitlyn can gun for this immunity," or whatever. So I'm like, I feel like they're setting that up to be a big part of his story because, I mean, he's pretty close to I don't know what the record is in Australia, but, 5 immunity challenges is the most anybody's ever won in the United States, so he's 1 away from that. Uh,
Mhm.
so that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, he did say earlier, like, if I have, they already called me a comp beast, so I might as well
Mhm.
just be that.
Yep.
So I'm like, true. But Kaylin wins immunity 4 in a row. I'm like,
Not in a row,
oh,
but
well, not in a
4.
row, but
Yeah.
4 total. Not 4 in a row, but 4
Mhm.
total. Good on
Okay.
Kaylin. Look, I'm happy.
Mhm.
The longer we
Oh,
see
and
Kaylin, the
I loved how that last challenge went. We weren't here to talk about it, but him being like, don't
don't
say
say
anything."
anything. Don't
I
say
know,
it.
it's like, "Oh my god."
Baby, I still read. I was like, no, Kaylin, not you do that. He's like, I don't want them to know how good at puzzles I am.
Yeah.
JLP was like, okay. I love Kaylin
Me
so much.
too.
Kalen is absolutely my favorite
He's my
person on
favorite.
this
He's my
cast. He is
favorite.
my favorite on this cast. Like I said, win or lose, Kalen has shown that he deserves to be here and he deserves an all-star spot. Like whenever
Oh,
y'all
yeah,
decide to bring folks back, you gotta bring Kalen back
for sure.
because he deserves. And I hope I get look. I hope, like you said, if they do the thing in Orlando that we like going to now, that look we like going to
Yes.
that I don't want to once and now we like going to. I hope he comes. I hope we
"Caitlin,
get him
come.
there.
I know you're
Oh,
watching." Yeah, he's my
Kayla, I know you're watching. Look, I know you're watching us because why wouldn't you? No,
Why
I
wouldn't you?
know.
Come hang out
But
with us
yeah,
in Florida.
come hang out in Florida. That'd be so awesome. I would love to be Kaylin. Like, I'm a Kaylin stan. I'm gonna put it out there. I am a Kaylin stan. I love Kaylin. I think he's my favorite person on this
Oh, yeah.
season. But um, yeah. So yeah, I love what he did that last week, and I like that he won this week. So good for Kaylin. Top beast. Might as well be that. I just hope that he just never not wins when he when he
Exactly.
needs to. 'Cause, oh Jesus.
I mean, we do see the first, like, edit-wise, like, a failure from Caitlin once they get back to the beach because we see a
Hmm.
conversation between Caitlin and Kristen, and they're both talking about, like, "Oh, what went on while we were gone?" And Caitlin's like, "Yeah, it was a lot of, like, idol searching. There weren't really names being talked about." And Kristen could tell he was lying.
Of
She's like,
course.
"Yeah, that's not true." He lied straight to my face. I'm like, "Oh, that's not good. That's not good for your winner potentials if we're seeing Kristen of all people clock your lie here."
I would have came up. I mean, we thought Morgan, but I don't know what y'all thinking over there. So,
Mhm. Yeah,
because I
just
would have
throw
came
out
up with a
anything.
fake name. Throw out any name that's not the right name. Because they would
But
have at least been like, that makes sense.
true, but it's funny because Kate kind of says the same thing, like, "Nobody gave me a name," but that's actually true, which is probably a sign, Kate.
Right, because they really didn't. But they do get back to camp and the scramble happens, and Morgan, not Morgan, Kate and Kristen talking. Kristen tells Kate the plan that they're going for Zara. Like they just said, they Kaylin's slip up with with Kristen. We saw AJ and Logan talking about who the split between Morgan and Kate. Um, and AJ's like, she just lied straight to my face. So
Yep.
it is what it is. The vote is still Logan. And all the girls like the vote is still Zara, and everybody's the vote is still Logan. But we go make this fake plan, and it's a split between Morgan and Kate, and that's what we go tell everybody. But the thing, and both teams like they just, I know they're trying to split our vote. They're trying to split it, but it's not splitting. And they're like, if we got to go to rocks, then so be it. We just got to go to rocks, and that just excites Miles and AJ so much. They're like, let's go to rocks. Yeah, let's do it. And Caitlin's like, sure, let's go to rocks. I'm safe. It doesn't matter if we
Yeah.
go to rocks or not. So, yes, let's go to rocks. And so they were prepared to sit and on May 4, this is our four, that's
Mhm.
the vote. And the girls like, this is our four, that's the vote. So let's see what happens. Like they literally was just like, we're ready for it.
Yeah, and the thing is, I was like, well, if they're so set on going to rocks, yeah, like we have the
Mhm.
postgraduates and we have whoever they're voting for would be safe, right? They don't know
Mhm.
who it is. They don't know that it's Zara. Kaylin's already safe. So I'm like, Miles, why wouldn't you play your idol? Like, it makes sense to take away a number in case you all are going to rocks. First of all, you could be one of the people they're voting for. Second of all, if you're not, then, and let's say it's Zara, it's Zara getting the votes, and then you play your idol, that means you only have one person on your side throwing rocks, and they have three over there. So I thought
Right.
for sure that would be something he would consider.
They never even brought that up.
Yeah,
And I was very shocked about that. I was like, that no idol, like use the idol.
yep,
Or like, yeah, use it on yourself. Even if it's a waste, it's a waste. But he wants to always make sure his idol is played the right way.
true,
But I would waste it on not having it so I could be safe in this rock vote if we happen to have a
true.
rock
Because
vote.
you have no control. If everybody's sticking with their sides, you have no control.
None whatsoever. But I wonder if they were banking on the idea that somebody was flipped.
Yeah. And it makes sense because the alliances have been so fluid this season. So I'm like,
Mhm.
why would anybody like go down with the sinking ship when you weren't working with her yesterday? You probably won't work with her a couple days from now. So yeah, I think they probably were banking on somebody flipping.
And
But
that
then why
flipper,
tease us
baby.
so much? Then why tease
Right.
us?
That's what pisses me off. So look, let's just get the tribal because
Mhm.
I would tell you why I was so pissed off because they teased us and teased us about this rock vote look, all week we got the rock vote,
Yep.
the rock vote, the rock vote, and then this whole episode it was like the rock vote, the rock vote, the rock vote, and I'm like, are we gonna finally get another rock vote? It's been a long time
Mhm.
since we had a rock vote. I'm ready for it. Let's see it. Let's have it. Last time, look, and this is go stupid. The last time I saw a rock vote was when I was playing a live org and we had a rock vote and I survived the rock vote. And I'm
Oh,
like, I was excited about that. And I've always wanted to see another rock vote on Survivor ever since that moment. I'm like, let me see somebody go through this. It's been a long time.
it has. Do you know the last time it happened on
No,
US? It was season
no.
33 of US Survivor. But guess what happened on season 34? That was the first on season 34. That was the first season that people started openly whispering during tribal
Wow.
councils. So I was thinking about this while watching this episode, and I'm like, did the whispers kill potential for a
The
rock
rock
trial?
vote?
Like, because if
Mhm.
people have time to like talk things out at the very last second,
Mm,
maybe maybe people are just never going to go to rocks anymore. If you have somebody telling you what to do um,
maybe.
in the 11th hour, so I really am wondering if that's not a coincidence that her 33 was the
Mm,
last time, 34 was the first time for whispers.
maybe. But But okay, but here we go. In this, I knew something was gonna happen because JLP had not many questions to ask these people in this episode. It was like,
No.
nah, I don't got that much to say. I'm ready to get to the vote. Like he asked a couple of people questions. It was like,
Mhm.
all right, let's vote. And I was like,
Yep.
oh, we're about to have it. We're about to have it. I'm like, I'm excited now. I'm like, oh, it's about to be a rock drop because this was too quick for it to be nothing. It was too quick for it to be nothing.
Also, one thing that like kind of pinged my radar was when we had Miles explaining what happens in a rock vote. Like, there's a
Yes.
tie. He said there's a tie. Then everybody not in the tie goes to revote. And if it's still a tie, you go to rocks. And I was like, oh, wait, is that true? Is it different for Australia? You don't have the conversation where you can still make it unanimous? So
Right.
that made me think, well, maybe we are going to go to rocks.
I was like, we're going to rocks. We're going to rocks. All of that made me think we are definitely going to rocks, and I'm excited. I was sitting up, like, usually I'm just laying down casually in the bed watching. No, I sat up and I was like holding my iPad, like, we're going to rocks. This is about to happen. And they go vote, and the vote is tied. And I'm like, oh, it's
Mhm.
going down. Like, we got to do a revote between Zara and Logan. Vote. Let's do it again. We do the revote, and it's tied again. And I'm like, we're going to rocks, everybody. So
We
exciting.
haven't even
And,
gotten to the part that pissed me off the most. Oh my gosh.
and then JLP says, I'm going to give you time to talk about it. And if you come up with, you have to be unanimous, or Zara and Logan will be safe. Halen will be safe since he has immunity, and the rest of you will draw rocks. And I'm like, okay, it is not going to be unanimous because these boys are set. They are going to go to rocks. And at first it started like, I'm not changing my vote.
Right.
I'm not changing my vote.
Miles said the odds are in our favor, so you all are
Right.
the ones that should switch.
And they were like, and so the girl's like, I don't want to switch. I don't like, I'm like, oh, we're about to go to rocks. And then Logan starts to speak.
This is what pissed me off.
This is what drove. I just wanted
Mhm.
to throw my iPad.
Well, it was kind of a reaction to what Zara was doing. Like Zara was fighting for her life here.
Yes,
Um,
which you should.
mhm. Yeah. Zara's like, yeah, I should stay. This game's fluid. I think or Miles said it was fluid, but like Zara was actually pitching why she should stay. Um, and I think Kate was like, well, but you're working with everybody, Zara. So, but you still saw a fight in Zara, which I really appreciated.
Hmm. Logan says, "I'm not going to ask you all to go to rocks for me." What do you mean? She's like, "I'm not going to ask you guys to go to rocks for me. I mean, I just want you to look and see what value your game the most.
Yeah.
If you feel like I am someone who will serve your game and could help you get further along, then I would say keep me. But I'm not going to ask you to go to rocks for me.
It felt
Don't."
like pride. Did it
Yeah.
not feel like I'm above the begging? Kind of like in Survivor Nicaragua when Brenda's like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna scramble," even though she knew the entire tribe was about to vote her out. She's like, "Yeah, I'm above scrambling, so I'm not gonna scramble, and I'm Logan now, and I'm not gonna beg for your votes. I like, yeah, I don't want to beg for your votes."
I was just like, ew.
And I like
Oh,
Logan. She's been
I
a
did.
grade A character.
She came around for me for
Mhm.
she I had a journey with her. I
Yeah.
was like, I like her, I don't like her, I like her. And now it's like, now I'm just disappointed. I don't
Yeah.
not like her. I'm just indifferent. I'm disappointed in how you just gave up like
Yeah.
that at the end and was like, I'm not gonna make you go to rocks for me. I feel like I played this kind of game. I'm like, fight for your game.
Yeah.
If you feel like you played a better game, fight for your game. And if they go to rocks, they go to rocks. But you still here another day. That's their choice to go to rocks. It's
Mhm.
not you making them go to rocks. It's their choice to go to rocks. And if one of them go out because of it, it's because of the choice that they made. Let them make their choice. Like
Yep.
I.
It's
Ah,
one thing to say, "I respect your decision either way," but she basically was giving them permission,
Yep.
and it almost felt like she was giving them permission to the level of, "Just do it. Just take me out."
She literally, she was like, don't do it. Don't go to rocks for me. Like literally, like, don't go to
Yeah.
rocks. Just,
It felt like a quit, kind of. And
just
you made it so far in such a long game.
it's so annoying. It's literally the most annoying thing
Yeah.
you could do for me. And I was so disappointed because I was looking for
Put that flame over her face. It's like,
I didn't care. I did it so fast. The second I saw her give, I was like, I don't care. This one didn't hurt at all because
mhm.
you literally gave up, and I was like, you were doing so well. You got so far, and your back was against the wall a lot, and just I hate it. I was so annoyed. I was so
Yeah.
disappointed.
And here's what makes me nervous about the season moving forward because I've had so much fun watching the season. I think it's a top tier season, but I'm really worried that now things are going to be less static and or more static and less fluid. Um, I think
Mm,
I think the alliances we have now might just solidify, and we might just see the Brawn women picked off one by one, and that's going to be a little
maybe
boring.
we'll see. Because yeah, it's just interesting. I don't know. I didn't like it. I was very disappointed with this outcome. I was like, dang,
Y
man.
You know what would have been funny, though? I thought about this, like, it wouldn't have made sense, but since it had to be a unanimous decision and JLP went by one, asking each of them their vote, and then the last person was Caitlyn, I would have died if Caitlyn said, "I'm voting for Zara," and not made it unanimous, knowing he
And
was
then
still
go to
safe.
Rocks. And they would have still had to go to Rocks.
I would have like, he would have been my favorite Survivor Australian Survivor player
Of
ever if he
all
did that.
time.
It
If
would have
he
been
would have did that, I would have died. I
it
would
would
have
have
been
been
like
really bad for his game, but it would have been hilarious.
the gag of it all. I've been like, oh my God. Because he like, I'm safe. I could care less who goes home at
Let's go
this
to
point.
Rocks.
Go to Rocks, man. He was ate it up. Oh, I loved it. It
Like,
like I
I'm
said,
doing
wouldn't have
this for
been great.
you guys out there watching us.
Yeah, my game is not that important. I don't care about winning Soul Survivor because I probably won't after this move, but just for your
Yeah.
entertainment, folks. And he would be the god of Survivor
Right.
Australia for me. I'd be like, David who? No, it is Kalen. He has taken the crown. He might lose, but he is the King George what? It is King Kalen. Period.
Yeah.
Like I would die. I would have died. Oh, I would have loved every second of that. But the draft happened, and Jack is now down another person. Jack and Logan are
Uh-oh.
down with one person apiece,
Oh.
and Brooke is still holding out with these three of AJ, Miles, and Kristen, and I am still holding on with Morgan and Kaylin. So interesting.
Mhm. It is interesting. A still it's gonna be you or Brooke winning. I mean, even besides the fact that they're down to 1 each, I just don't think Zara or Kate are winning this season at all.
Okay. I respect that. I'm still like I think it might be. I think Brooke has a really good chance at this
Mhm.
one with Miles, AJ.
Yep.
I don't think it's gonna be Kristen.
No
Like
Kirsty,
no Kirsty. I don't think, but I think my hope is with Kaylin.
for sure.
But
So
we
it's
shall
gonna be
see.
a man.
Probably,
Yep.
unless we'll talk because let's talk about the previews because we see Zara is now doing some things, and I was like, hold on, Zara, keep my man's name out your mouth because she is now like these three Braun women are all by their lonesome. I'm the last female brain woman standing. Um, I can work with these girls and get rid of one of these guys. And what guy do we need to get rid of is Kaylin because Kaylin's not in my plans for the end game. And I was like, hold on, not too much.
Right.
Not too much. Now we've seen previews like this, and I get all upset, and then Kaylin just go out and win immunity, and I'll be okay with it. Then I was like, figure out something else. Get something, do something else. Figure out something else to do because it ain't gonna be him. That's what I need to happen. I need them to do all this jibber jabber talk about how Kaylin ain't in their end game plans, and then Kaylin just go out and win the immunity challenge, and then ain't nothing they can do about it, and they gotta find something else to do.
Mhm.
That's what I want to happen because
Yep. I'm not too nervous because usually they like, whoever they're showing you is in trouble, probably isn't in
so
trouble.
exactly. That's why I'm like not too much on Kaylin, but I'm
Right.
not that nervous. I'm not that nervous, but we'll see. Hope
We'll see
look,
tomorrow.
maybe we'll see tomorrow. Look, maybe she doing all that chickeny talking, and then it'd be her in trouble
Hmm?
because Kaylin found out that she talking about him and got his name in her mouth, and he becomes the silent assassin again and gets you out like he got your girl Kaz out. Oop, okay, but that's just me. Not too much on Kaylin, though. Not too much on Kaylin. I
Leave
am
them
with
alone.
Kaylin defender. Leave him
Yes.
alone. Leave him alone. But overall, as much as I did not like this episode, 'cause I was disappointed in the outcome and how
Mhm.
things played out, I'm still enjoying Australian
Oh, yeah.
Survivor this season. It's really good. I'm invested. I can't wait for it to come out. I'm watching it first thing in the morning when I wake
Yep.
up. I'm probably because that's just me.
5
Can't wait.
episodes left, and, I really
Nice.
I really hope it keeps this momentum for the end game. It's easy for things to get kinda stale near the end,
Mm-hmm.
especially Australian Survivor. Those early seasons, it's just like, by the time you got to the end, it's like, "Oh my gosh, okay, yeah, we're picking off the people in the minority for weeks and weeks." So, I'm hoping it will, stay interesting, but not
Mm-hmm.
too interesting.
As
Not
long as
too interesting on Kaylin.
leave to keep Kaylin's name out your mouth, and I'll be very happy. Not too
Mhm.
much. But that is that on that, y'all. We have talked all we can about this episode. Let us know in the comments who you still rocking with and why is it Kaylin? And let's what you think about the season thus far in this episode. If you were as upset and disappointed as I was and David was, because we were very annoyed.
Mhm.
Um, well, not so much David since he got spoiled this morning, but
Yep.
um,
I wasn't 100% sure. I was like, "Oh, it looks like Logan's going." So, as I was watching, I'm like, "Well,
so I
probably not
mean,
going to Rocks if Logan." Yep.
which is very disappointing. But anyway, um, but let us know in the comments what you think, what your thoughts are. Hit the subscribe button if you hadn't done that already. We appreciate you to do that. Help us reach our mission of 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Subscribe to this channel and all of our other channels. All the links will be in the description below in the link tree. So click all of the channels, subscribe to all of the channels. We would appreciate you. Also, follow us on our audio podcast links, our Patreon, all of our socials at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. You can follow David and myself on those same platforms, and you can get your merch at LanaGCreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we're gonna get out of here. So see you tomorrow. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Bye.